This is the brief homily for the 30th of May. Please read the readings before listening to the homily. Suppose someone were to say, well, I don't see how light can be particles and waves. It's got to be one or the other. They've got that wrong. Or they were to say, I don't see how two accurate clocks, if one goes on a fast journey, will show a different time to one that hasn't. One of them must be wrong. Well, that person may have that opinion, but it doesn't change the facts that the chips on our mobile phones work and GPS satellites help our sat-nav to find where we are. They rely on quantum effects and on relativity. Suppose the person's not so arrogant as to say, if I don't understand it, it can't be right. But they meet a Nobel Prize winning physicist next time they're at a party, and they say to them, I don't understand quantum physics. More likely than not, the quantum physicist will say, well, neither do I. If what you mean by understand is you can come up with a mental image based on your everyday life, I can't do that. But what I will tell you is that that's what measurements and mathematics shows us to be true. Now that's just understanding this world of space, time, energy and matter where we live. How much more challenging to understand the inner nature of God, who exists outside space and time as well as within it. The theologian Augustine was once trying to come up with an image of how God can be three and one. Not one or the other, but at the same time, three and one. And then he had a dream in which a child at the seaside was trying to dig a hole big enough to fit the entire ocean in. When he woke up, Augustine realized no human mind is capable of containing a mental image of the inner nature of God. Now put these readings today together as a whole, and what do we learn from them? That the universe exists because God created it in his majesty and awe, but that his relationship with human beings is one of a loving Father. That Jesus Christ is divine, is God. They all knelt before him, though some hesitated. That the Holy Spirit is sent into our hearts, that we may find faith, that the person searching for the truth, guided by the Holy Spirit, may find it. When the Church teaches the doctrine of the Trinity, developed over centuries by meditating and praying about the Scriptures, guided by that Holy Spirit, we're doing what Jesus told us to do. Baptize people in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit and teach them. Revelation shows it to be true, even if we can't make a mental image of it. But does it matter at all? Is it just words? Sooner or later, if they're in the job long enough, a university chaplain will have the experience, most likely at closing time in the Union Bar, where a university chaplain ought to be, of a student coming up and saying, you tell us that we should love and forgive each other because that's what God tells us. Well, if God had made up his mind to say you must hate each other and take vengeance, you'd be forced to teach us to tell us that. So so much for your Christianity. Well, I hope the chaplains are patient when those occasions arise. But if the inner life of God is of three persons, but one God, perfect unity, not three as if they were one, three persons and one God, if that experience of love and relationship and unity is the nature of God, then it is the nature of God when God creates a universe so that human beings may evolve and come to share God's experience. The only command God can give is to love and forgive and be reconciled with each other, building up unity. Love and unity are God's nature, so that must be God's command. Yes, the Trinity can't be imagined with images from our everyday life, but it matters